Hola, welcome to Fan for Spanish Materials and welcome to this new video lesson. Today we're going to talk about the present subjunctive, but for vos. So we just learned the present subjunctive for all the personal pronouns. Yeah, we did it for yo, tú, él, ella, nosotros, vosotros, and so on. Vos comes from the vosotros. Yeah, but it's only used in some countries like Argentina, Uruguay, some regions of Bolivia, Colombia, Peru as well. Um, but anyways, if your main treatment is vos, maybe most probably if you live in an area like Uruguay or Argentina or, or some of these regions, if you live in these regions, concentrate on this vos. We already talked about how it's present tense with vos. We already talked about imperative with vos, and now we're going to talk about the subjunctive for vos, which is pretty easy. The most important thing is that we have to remember that vos, yeah, it's an informal, is the same like tu, and it doesn't have irregulars. It doesn't have the irregularities that does have tú, like tú tienes. So for vos is vos tenés. So tienes, tú tienes, vos tenés. So we don't have these irregularities. Yo puedo, vos podés. So we don't have the ue, yo puedo, tú puedes, right? No, for vos is vos podés. You don't have these irregularities. Um, you can check in the letter survive the irregular verbs in present tense. Check them out. And this only happens with two, but with vos it does not happen. Now, we are gonna take this into account. Vos doesn't have irregular verbs. The only one is sos. Vos sos. Present tense. That's all. So how do we do subjunctive for vos? So remember for two that we do this switch, right? It's exactly the same. Yeah. The only difference is that the stress is gonna go at the end. So remember for two tomas, so it will be two tomes. But now it's gonna be two tomes. So it's gonna have this tomes, right? The stress at the end. Yo como, tú comes. So it will be two comas. That will be for two. For vos is vos comas. So it's exactly the same comas, but comas. So we're going to put the stress at the end. Yo vivo, tú vives. Ah, so tú vives, so tú vivas. That will be the subjunctive of for tú vivas. But now, because it's with vos, it's vos vivas. So instead of vivas, it's vivas. So that's it. The only difference between the vos and the two, the subjunctive vos and two, is the stress at the end. And also, always respect that verbs don't have irregularities with vos. Let's have a look at some examples with this. Um, well, for example, poder, right? So yo puedo, tú puedes. So it will be tú puedas. That will be for right for tú puedas. But um, this for vos. Vos is tú podas, right? Because it's not tú puedas. It's tú podas. It has the doesn't have irregularities. Yeah. Now, let's have a look at some irregular verbs that work in subjunctive. We did the same thing for two. As you can see, it's going to be the same thing. The only difference is that it doesn't have the stress like tú. Yeah. Vos is going to have the stress at the end. Vos seas. You can say vos seas or vos seas. Yeah, both are correct. Vos veas, vos vayas, vos sepas, vos hayas. So it's the same conjugation for two, but the only difference is that the stress is going to go at the end. Yeah, yeah. Tú seas, tú veas, tú vayas, tú sepas, tú hayas. Vos seas, vos veas, vos vayas, vos sepas, vos hayas. Yeah. Um, eh, vos hagas, vos conozcas, vos tengas, ¿ya? Tú hagas, tú conozcas, tú tengas. Vos hagas, vos conozcas, vos tengas. So we are going to put the stress at the end, yeah? It's the same thing, but just with the stress at the end, yeah? Um, eh, ah, eh, Tú pongas, tú salgas, tú vengas, tú digas. Vos pongas, vos salgas, vos vengas, vos digas. Yeah? That's how you conjugate the subjunctive for vos. It's the same thing that we do for tú, but the stress is going to be at the end. And remember, vos doesn't have irregularities. So don't put the roots the same way you put it with tú. Like with the example of poder, yeah, yeah, tú puedes, tú puedas. That will be subjunctive. So it's not going to be vos puedas, okay? Because vos doesn't have these irregularities. It's going to be vos podás. That's it. That's all. I hope you enjoyed the video and that you practice this a lot in the future subjunctive cases that we're going to learn later on. Thank you so much. Thanks for watching. Hasta luego y muchas gracias. Bye bye.